ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe.
Boyfriend's like total douchebag.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Marvel Studios, the first 10 years, Iron Man 3 movies, Pepper Potts, Mark 22 Iron Man, and the Mandarin. If you're trying to get your first 10 years series figures, you can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Actually, I got these on Amazon. I gotta give a big thanks to Xmanny87 for giving me the heads up on that. Thank you so much, brother. He's been helping me out so much with this YouTube channel lately and getting the figures that I need for my collection and to review for you guys. Show him some love. Check out his Instagram in the description below. Anyway, these three figures I've actually been wanting. I've actually been wanting all three of these over here. Anyway, on the side, you can see a read-up for the Iron Man 3 movie. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. Arguably the worst MCU film, arguably. And then on this side right here, or on the back anyway, you can see a poster image from Iron Man 3. Here's a read-up on the Mandarin. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. Here's a read-up on the Mark 22 Iron Man. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. And then here's a read-up on the Pepper Potts. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. And then it says number 4 right there. So I'm about to complete my build an image, and you can see right here, we get the Mark 43.
It's the Mark 42, not the Mark 43. That's how you keep screwing that up.
Looking pretty snazzy in these images. I'm going to do a video talking about this Marvel Studios first 10 years series overall. But anyway, we have the Marvel Studios spot varnished on the top right there, and then not much more going on at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack these things open. And here's all three figures out of the packaging. Not looking too bad. I really like how all three of these figures look, and as I mentioned earlier, I have been looking forward to all three of them. I do have my preferences though. I am very happy with how this Mandarin looks already compared to the prototype that we'd seen from several years ago. This actually looks like a big improvement, and I'm happy with the other two as well. So let's get a closer look at the Mark 22, and then we'll take a look at the Mandarin and Pepper Potts. So here's a look at the Mark 22 Hot Rod, and this is the same body mold that we've seen 3 times at least in the past, and you know, I'm not too bummed out about it. Yeah, I knew they were going to do that. They did it before with the Hot Toys, and you know, I expected that with this figure, and again, it looks really good. So we're seeing the same exact sculpt, but slightly different paint apps. You can see that it is a little bit lighter in color compared to the Mark II War Machine. As you can see right there, you know what I mean? A little bit less paint around the eyes and everything, but yeah, just a little bit lighter in color. But yeah, of course we have the red added to the arms and legs, which I thought was a cool design. It's kind of like an amalgam between Mark II and Mark III. A little bit, you know, they added the flames, well, not on the arms, but on the boots. You can see there's no color for the arc reactor right there. Nice bright silver paints right here. I love how it fades into the red, though. That looks really cool. And then looking at the legs right here, this is my favorite part of the figure. That is just a very nice, smooth fade into the red. Then you can see the flame deco right there, looking really good. I really like the metallic red that we're seeing on this, and I think that's pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty cool. Unfortunately, he was barely in the movie. I'm pretty sure this is him right over here, about to save Tony, but nope, he gets clipped away and smashed against a big old pole, and that's the end of Hot Rod. So yeah, very brief appearance in the film, but hey, at least he made it in the film. And there's no you know, weapons or anything that you can attach right over here because, you know, he doesn't use them. So for the Hot Rod Mark 22 articulation, we've seen this before. He can look up just that much and down that much and side to side motion, and no real head tilting. He does have the hinge on the shoulder pads, so the arms will move all the way up, down, forward, back, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist turn side to side and hinge down but not up. He does have a diaphragm joint that can move forward that much, back much more, and a little bit of diaphragm pivoting and turn side to side. Hips move outward that far, and he will kick forward just that much, back more so, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. Ankles barely move down, they barely move up, and you can turn them side to side, and 0 ankle pivot. You'll never see me. I mean, come on, man, what a poor choice for this character, right? I mean, just what they did with the Mandarin. I mean, mean, it's not just that he wasn't a Chinese guy, which he should have been a Chinese guy, but I mean, shoot, man, like what, they just made him a decoy. That still bothers me to this day, because I always wanted to see a good MCU Mandarin, and they have great actor like Sir Ben Kingsley over here, and yeah, kind of wasted him a little bit, but he did a great job, and I think this head sculpt really looks like Sir Ben Kingsley. They did a really good job with the hair right up here. That looks great. He has his little man bun thing, some nice paint detail in the hair, so that's great. I like that. The wrinkles on the forehead, photorealistic technology looks great on the face. So yeah, it looks dead on Sir Ben Kingsley to me, so I think they did a great job with that. A little extra plastic right there behind the neck. And then looking at the rest of the clothes right here, I feel like this is from Mordo. I could be wrong, but we do have this brand new coat right here, which looks really good. And it's made out of fairly soft material. And I love how it's all shiny and reflective, and it matches very well with the very hard material that we're seeing right here on the sleeves. And you can see his rings right here that do jack squat. All right, so yeah, it's just bling for bling's sake. And then you can see some nice deco right there on the sleeve, and I really like how you could feel the texturing of all these little detailed logos and stuff like that, or patterns anyway, little floral patterns and stuff. And there's a big draping part right there on the back, and it has the hood, nice bright gold paint. But yeah, I really like this metallic green. Looks really fancy, really cool. I dig that. Yeah, then looking on the side, we get some more nice gold, like that, nice pretty shiny gold. And then he has green going throughout, a little waistband right there, and he has his army pants, as he should have. I think we'd seen this with the Punisher figure, and he has these military type boots, looking really good with the laces and treads, and he has the peg holes at the bottom of his feet. You can get him looking all the way up, so you can lay in bed, I guess. And then you can't really get him looking down too far, just a little bit. The beard does get in the way. He has a side-to-side motion right here, and a little bit of head tilting. Shoulders can move outward pretty far and down, forward and back. You do a full 360. Single jointed elbow. I really wish he had double jointed elbows. This does bother me, especially because it doesn't really quite meet that 90-degree mark. You also get rotation at the elbow. Then the wrists turn side to side, and they barely hinge up and down. I feel like the joint is in there, but there's just such little space in the sleeve right over here. It's very tricky to maneuver. Another thing is I wish he did have some accessories, but luckily they did sculpt the hands so that you can give him a gun, which I'd done for some images. So here's a gun right there, and you can put it in his hand, and you can see the trigger finger goes through there very nicely. So that is cool if you wanted to do that. You also get a waist joint in here that turns side to side. No real waist pivoting or crunching. It's just a side to side motion. We do have hip joints that can move outward that far, and he can kick forward that much and back some. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then he has no boot rotation, I forgot, and he has ankles that move down. They do move up a bit, and he does have ankle pivot. One thing that's a little frustrating with this figure is that, if you have a throne or something, because it would have been nice to be able to plop this figure down on a throne, and you can't do that. Well, there you go. I guess that's the best you can get, or you can go like this, and he just slides down. You can't, this is soft material right here, but it's not soft enough where it will really bend in a way where you can get him sitting down. But you can get this whole robe off of him if you wanted to do that. So they did make it so that if you wanted to customize, or if you just wanted Mandarin sitting in the chair that badly, you can make it happen. And then now you can have a Mandarin sitting in a chair if you wanted to do that, and that kind of looks cool. That's kind of neat. Just give him a couple brewskis and he's all set. Then lastly, we have the pepper patas, which we'll get to in just a second. But yeah, we got the pepper pots right over here. I cannot wait to see her in Avengers 4. I'm fairly certain we're going to see her in the rescue armor. Apparently she leaked that out in an interview, but you see her wearing that same hoodie that Tony had in Infinity War, the one that, gets the Mark 50 going. So she's going to have, her own armor, it looks like anyway. Without her leaking it, we could figure that out. Now I do think the photoreal tech looks pretty good on this too. From the 3/4 angle, it looks a little bit more Gwyneth to me than just dead on. Something going on with her left eye right here. It's a little bit too centered, so that bothers me a little bit. But I think they have the bone structure in the mouth, and most part for the eyes, it looks like Gwyneth Paltrow to me. So I think they did a pretty good job. It's just, I don't know, it's just that left eye bothers me some. The hair looks really good for the most part, but on this side we have these weird little splots, and that's not looking really good, and that was supposed to go there, it looks like. So tiny little QC issues with the way the hair paint was applied, but mostly looking really good. And this is just my copy probably that has that little space right there and the extra bit of paint. So somebody messed that up. Little splotch on the breast right there, right next to her little bra. Looks really good. No cleavage sculpted in there. You know, can't have cleavage anymore in the Marvel Legends. That's just gone now. And then we have the arm that we've seen many times before. It doesn't come with an interchangeable part for the left side, but we get an interchangeable part for the right side. I'll demonstrate that in just a moment, but you can see that she has a nice little belly button right there, looking pretty good. And we get the pepper nutglass right there, not looking too bad, you know, not looking too bad at all. Looking at the back, you know, slight inconsistent coloring in the flesh tone, but, you know, doesn't bother me too much. The legs, I think, are from Hellcat. Yeah, we've seen these legs before. And alas, we have the pepper patas. Look at those beautiful toes. Oh, yeah, not looking too bad. A little on the puffy side, though. I will say that they remind me of my daughter's feet. So she kind of has baby feet, but they kind of need to be that way so that the figure can stand. But yeah, not too bad on the toenails and everything. Wish they're painted red. I may customize mine, you know. Little paint coming off right over there on that hinge, but yeah, she still has pegals at the bottom of the feet. I like how they sculpted the bottom of the feet right there. Not too bad, not too bad. The only accessory that we get from this 3-pack set is the extra arm, so you can just pop that out right there, which is pretty easy to do. And then we have the armor arm right there, and it looks really good. You know, I do like the gold paint. We get some very nice metallic red paint on it, so it does look pretty dope. I like that. And I love how you can see a little bit of the wires and cables and stuff wrapping around her. That's pretty awesome too. So that's nifty, and even in the elbow joints right there, you know, you can see that. It is double jointed. I'll get into the articulation of the rest of the figure in a minute. And she does have a port right here with one blast effect, and it does bother me the way that they don't have wrist articulation at all right there. That's very frustrating because she's always going to look just a bit weird shooting. I mean, you can't really get her shooting forward. It's always going to look dumb one way or another. I guess if you have, you know, the elbow straightened up, it's going to be off to the side. Or you could try to churn it right at the bicep, but now it's kind of looks like she's just always kind of pointing downward. So this is very frustrating. If they just added wrist articulation, or maybe ported this in a way where it looked like it was coming straight out the arm, that would have been cooler. So I'm a bit frustrated with that. Yeah, they could have done more to make that better, but no, oh well. And I guess if you wanted to, you could use this as an accessory for the Mark 22, you know, just have one little booster firing off right there, but yeah. Could have been nice if they came with two. And then for the lovely Pepper Potts, again, you do get the double jointed elbow right there, no wrist articulation, and you can't move the shoulder down, and it'll rotate 360, and you can move it outward that much. And then getting this regular shoulder right on there, and looking at the head joint articulation, she will look up a little bit, you know, not too far, just that much. She does have a lot of hair back here, which is fairly soft, and you can't make her look down very far. She does have side-to-side motion, and you gotta just flop the hair over the shoulder, and just a bit of head tilting, not a whole lot. Shoulders, or these regular shoulders, can move outward just that. Oh, I popped that one off. So without popping it off, it'll just move about 90 degrees outward and down, rotate 360, a single-jointed elbow for the regular one, and it just meets 90 degrees rotation at the elbow, and then these two wrists turn side to side and hinge up and down. There it goes. I popped it in all the way now. You get a diaphragm joint that turns side to side. She crunches forward that much, and ooh, I'm really noticing the paint fading away right there. It's looking black. So they used black plastic right here and put a flesh tone over it. I don't know if you could tell from there. Yeah, I think you can. You can see the flesh tone fading away. Anyway, it bends forward that much, back that much, and you do get pivoting right there, aside from the side-to-side motion. She can do the splits. Okay, Tony, you're a lucky man. And then you can see that she kicks forward that much, back not at all, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, beautiful pepper patas. They move downward and then they move upward, and she does have a beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out these three figures, you can see that the pepper patas is standing just a little under 6.5 inches tall. The big time letdown Mandarin is standing just a little over 6.5 inches tall, and then the Hot Rod Mark 22 is standing just a little bit over 6.5 inches tall as well. And then here's the Mark 22 Hot Rod next to the other versions of this figure that we've seen before. We have the Iron Patriot, which I think came first, and then we have the Mark II War Machine, and then we have the Disco Mark 27, and then we have the Hot Rod Mark 22. And yeah, if you want to laugh at me for not minding buying the same figure 4 times, it's an Iron Man figure. I don't care. I'm a fanboy. Don't care what you say. I like my toys. Then here's the Mandarin figure next to some of the, I don't know, less popular villains from the MCU. We have Mordo and we have Ego. And you can see that the upper torso right here is actually not the same from the Mordo figure. Then here's Pepper Potts from my previous first 10 years Marvel Studios set of the Mark I Iron Man and Tony Stark. And you can see Pepper is actually taller than Tony Stark. I wish we did have a newer Tony Stark figure, you know, with the tire that he had in Iron Man 3. That would have been kind of neat. Then here's Pepper Potts next to a couple of notable armors. We have the Mark 42 over here. Then we we have the Marvel Unlimited exclusive rescue armor that Pepper Potts wears. So let's try some head swaps. I haven't tried swapping the heads on any of these yet, so I'm just going to try the rescue armor first, see how that goes. And ooh, it looks like that kind of doesn't really fit on there all the way, but I think it can work. I don't know. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. I don't know, maybe not as well as I'd like it to. If I try a little harder. Yeah, no, it's not going on there. But again, you can put the MJ head sculpt on there, so if you wanted your comic version, you know, that looks pretty good. And then we have the Mark 42. Pop that off. This is an important one because she actually does wear this armor, and it does fit! Yes! Oh, that is so cool. I'm very happy with that. That is awesome. It looks weird, but it should. I mean, but it fits on there very well. That is great. Now I kind of wish I had a second one of these. Nah, I'm fine with this. But yeah, that is awesome. I really like that you can do that. Makes me very happy. Oops, I also wanted to show off this head sculpt on the Jessica Jones body, and that looks pretty cool. Seeing Gwyneth Paltrow in the leather jacket, street clothes, looks pretty good. Wish we had the one where she had the Daisy Dukes, though. And then you could also put this on the Mary Jane figure, and that looks pretty good, too. The flesh tone doesn't really match, but if you wanted that look going on, you could do that if you wanted to. Then here's all three figures. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm known as a letdown, and Iron Man 3 is definitely known as a letdown, so hey, I'm in good company. All four of us, letdowns. Oh, except for you. Ooh, wow. Huh. So again, I gotta thank you guys for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, especially those of you that watch these videos all the way from the beginning to the end. It really does help out this YouTube channel quite a bit, as well as when you hit that like button. If you like the video, please leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of these three figures. Also, let me know what you think of the review, and if you've not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so, as well as hit that notification bell to ensure that my videos pop up in your feed. You already know I like this set. I am very pleased with the set. I don't mind having the repainted Mark 22 over here, or the repainted Iron Patriot anyway. The Mandarin figure, I wish he did come with his own gun. He doesn't come with the gun that he's holding right over there, so I wish we had accessories for him. The Pepper Potts armed arm anyway, that is pretty weak. I mean, that's like the best pose I feel like I can get that figure in right there. But while laying down those complaints, I still have a lot of fun with these figures. I had a great time taking photos of them. I love that we can do lots of fun head swaps with the Pepper Potts. Having another Iron Man figure to my Iron Man 3 armory is really cool too. Finally getting this villain in action figure form to complete my villain setup. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. So I gotta give it a sud rating of... I love it! And again, let me know what you would think. Give it a sud rating. What sud rating would you give it? I love it when you guys reply in the comment section with sud ratings. Anyway, let me know what you think once again. And please check out the latest in Marvel news over at marvelousnews.com for the news, photos, and forums. And if you want to follow me on the social media, you can follow me on the Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Links to everything in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.